Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene's bill banning transgender procedures for minors passes the House of Representatives. President Donald Trump delivers a short primetime address to the country on his administration's successes in 2025, and Representative Ilhan Omar is caught lying about her son's alleged detainment by Immigration Customs Enforcement. I'm Tony Kinnett, host of the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Thursday, December 18th, 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. The House of Representatives passed the Protect Children's Innocence Act with a vote of 216 to 211 yesterday evening. This bill, authored by Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, who is resigning on January 5th of 2026, would make it a felony to perform transgender procedures, including sterilization, genital mutilation surgeries, or providing puberty blockers and hormone therapies to minors. Here was Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene's response to the victory.
I'm excited to announce that my bill, Protect Children's Innocence Act, that criminalizes gender-affirming care on any minor under the age of 18, has passed the House of Representatives. So I would also like to thank three Democrats that voted to protect kids, Cuellar, Davis, and Gonzalez. Thank you so much for protecting children. Unfortunately, there were four Republicans that voted no and refused to protect kids. Those Republicans are Evans from Colorado, Fitzpatrick, Kennedy of Utah, and Mike Lawler from New York. I don't know why they can't protect kids, but that's too bad. But I'm still excited my bill passed, and it goes to the Senate next. Thank you so much for your support.
Representative Tim McBride, who goes by Sarah from Delaware, was rather upset at this particular news and issued a statement suggesting that the government needed to get out of healthcare.
I get it's hard to understand what it feels like to be trans. I get that it is hard to understand what it feels like to be me. I get that it's hard to understand this care and understand the need for it. But one of the things that gets so lost in this conversation is that the transgender adults of today were kids once. I was a kid once. I didn't have the courage to come out until I was 21. But it's a fact I have known about myself for my entire life. I didn't have the courage to come out until I was 21, and that means 21 years of pain. 21 years of unwavering homesickness that only went away when I was able to get the care that I needed. And my biggest regret in life is that I never had a childhood without that pain. I marvel at the courage of transgender young people today who are sharing themselves with their families and this world, despite the toxicity and the hate that too often emanates from the building behind me and from politicians within it. All any of us want is to live a life of purpose and happiness and wholeness. None of us know how long we have. None of us know how much time we have on this planet. It is already hard enough to raise a family. It is already hard enough to be a kid, and government should not make it harder.
It should be noted that Representative McBride is fully in favor of the government funding healthcare through the Obamacare subsidies and through other levers and regulations that would require the government to be deeply involved in healthcare. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump delivered a much shorter than expected primetime address to the American people yesterday at 9 p.m. His speech focused on many of the good things that he believed his administration has accomplished for the American people, such as correcting the mistakes at the border from the Biden administration. He also credited, quote, 100% of all net job creation, end quote, to go to native-born Americans instead of foreign migrants. The president also announced that United States military servicemen and women would be receiving a $1,776 bonus called the Warrior Dividend in order to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our country, as well as a thank you to the troops. years. Finally, the president cast an economic boom vision for the following year, with the tax cuts from the Big Beautiful Bill going into effect.
Next year, you will also see the results of the largest tax cuts in American history that were really accomplished through our great Big Beautiful Bill, perhaps the most sweeping legislation ever passed in Congress. We wrapped 12 different bills up into one beautiful bill. That includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Under these cuts, many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year, and next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time.
And last but not least, Democrat Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota is in a bit of hot water after alleging that Immigration Customs Enforcement had racially profiled her son, detaining him in a traffic stop. This prompted a response from the Department of Homeland Security, who posted, quote, "ICE has absolutely zero record of its officers or agents pulling over Congresswoman Omar's son. With no evidence, it is shameful that Congresswoman Omar would level accusations to demonize Immigration Customs Enforcement as part of a PR stunt. Allegations that ICE engages in racial profiling are disgusting, reckless, and categorically false. What makes someone a target for immigration enforcement is if they are illegally in the United States, not their skin color, race, or ethnicity. Under the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution, the Department of Homeland Security's law enforcement uses reasonable suspicion to make arrests." Omar was later pressured on this particular point from CNN's Wolf Blitzer. Omar obfuscated.
Says, and I'm quoting them, "ICE has absolutely zero record of its officers or agents pulling over Congresswoman Omar's son, and have accused you of seeking to, quote, demonize ICE as part of a PR stunt." Their words. What do you say to that?
Well, if ICE is saying that they have documentation of every single person that they have pulled over in Minneapolis, we would love to see that record, because we've certainly, myself and the governor, have been asking them to share information with us on the ways in which they have interacted with Minnesotans, and they have not been able to provide a single information. So it is amazing that they're able to put out this statement saying definitely that they did not pull my son over when they haven't been able to answer anything else. And ICE has been known to lie when it comes to their enforcement.
I know.
Omar has since been followed around by various reporters asking why she made up a story about her son being detained by Immigration Customs Enforcement at the U.S. Capitol.
Congresswoman, can I ask you your response to Tom Homan saying you're under investigation for immigration, possible immigration violations? Just any response you have to what he's saying in the public.
I have no response because I don't know what they'll be investigating.
So you don't think they would find anything?
Absolutely not.
Why do you think they keep bringing this up in the media?
Before you go, head down to the description and make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast. And join us tonight at 7 p.m. back home in our sweet Indiana studio for a roundup of the day's news and nonsense. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's top news in 10. Take care.